All right, let's now shift our attention to what is happening in France, where France's far-right leader, Jean-Marie Le Pen, is no more. Now, following his death, many, of course, came out onto the streets, believe it or not, for celebrations. But the response has France's leaders deeply divided, with some condemning this reaction. Now, the 96-year-old founded the National Front Party. He was a major figure in the French far-right, which remained centered around him for many decades, before his daughter eventually, Marie Le Pen, took the reins of the party in 2011. Now, the reaction to his death showed us to how Le Pen has contributed to divide France, even in death, as much as he had done in his life, with the right hailing him as nothing less than a visionary, and the left denouncing him as a racist and a xenophobe who had divided France.
It's a symbol that's dying, and it's really good to know. A symbol of an extreme right that makes no sense today. Unfortunately, it still exists, and we must remember that it must not be allowed to live on.
Sad news. Like all deaths. He was a colorful character, very controversial, fundamentally Republican, even if some deny it, but with questionable ideas at certain times. And we wish him a warm welcome to heaven.
But just hours after his death, thousands of people gathered in different parts of the country, from Paris to Marseille, lighting flares, throwing confetti and also drinking. However, France's Interior Minister Bruno Retailleau condemned the celebrations and has accused the demonstrators of dancing on a corpse. The President Emmanuel Macron said that it was up to history to judge Jean Le Pen. Now, the left-wing leader, Jean-Luc Mélenchon, said that Le Pen's death, the fight against the man is over. And under his leadership, the National Front Party had defended a staunchly anti-immigration agenda, with many accusing him of being a xenophobe, a racist, and an anti-Semite. Jean Le Pen had courted controversy with his declaration that the Nazi gas chambers were merely a detail of the Second World War history. And joining us on the broadcast is our correspondent Ross Collins, joining us with more details from Paris. Ross, this is the death of a 96-year-old man. He put French far-right politics bang in the middle of French politics. Tell us, what's his legacy like, and why is it that we witness some celebrations in the aftermath of his death of a 96-year-old man?
Well, his legacy is being continued by his daughter, who is the parliamentary leader of the National Rally. She rebranded her father's National Front when she took over running the party, and the legacy is that that party is now the biggest in the National Assembly. It has more MPs than any other party, short of a majority though, but with more than 140 lawmakers representing the far-right brand, which was started by Jean-Marie Le Pen many years ago, and the legacy is certainly that far-right politics are front and centre of a lot of the debates here in France at the moment. Domestically, the power that Marine Le Pen and her fellow nationalist lawmakers have when it comes to the budget, when it comes to the current and new Prime Minister François Bayrou. The legacy is that far-right politicians are regularly heard on the media, regularly spoken to, and they have a place in French domestic life that far-right politicians don't in many other parts of the European Union, many other parts of European countries. In terms of the celebrations, well, this was a man who was convicted multiple times for Holocaust denial, multiple times for racism, for homophobia, and so there are many people in France who want to cheer the end of Jean-Marie Le Pen's life. We did hear from the Interior Minister saying that whatever your politics, you shouldn't be celebrating the death of somebody, even if that person was your enemy.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Ross Cullen, for joining us with those details from Paris there. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.